Hey guys, this is a Fluffy Bunny, and this is my first Minecraft video. And this is actually a project that I did for homework. And basically, it is a giant cell. It is a model of an animal cell. So basically, I'm going to tell you how a cell, in this case, an animal cell, maintains homeostasis, which is when an organism is in equilibrium. Equilibrium means that the cell functions are healthy and are working properly and everything is equal. For instance, there must be as much food and water coming in as there is waste leaving. Also, if there is too much substance of, say, water, then it will release some so the cell will remain at its balance. If there is too much water on the inside, then it will absorb some of if there is too much water on the outside, then it will absorb some of the water. So there is an equal amount of water in the inside and the outside. So basically what I was describing would the water molecules going in or out of the cell is called osmosis. And osmosis is the diffusion of water molecules through a selectively permeable membrane. Okay? So, a permeable membrane, permeability is the ability to allow substances through your membrane or skin or outer shell or whatever. Okay, so a selectively permeable membrane, which means you get to select what goes in and out of your membrane. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pretend I'm the cell. Okay, I left a small gap, so I will use a creeper as an example for a bad thing. Okay, so spawn a creeper. These guys are not very good if you're playing survival, but I'm playing creative, so it doesn't matter unless I attack, which would be bad. So you do not want these around. If you attack them, or if you're in survival, they will just walk up behind you and explode. So yeah, these are very bad. For the good example, and they cannot go into here, okay, because I've selected it to where they just can't enter. So as my other example for good, I'm going to use a chicken. Okay, these aren't exactly bad or good, they just kind of sit there. So it actually just went into the cell, and so it went into the cell, so it would be like it's food, and it actually came out of the cell, which would like symbolize waste or products or something like that. Okay, so I am going to enter the cell and show you all the organelles that are inside of it and what their purposes are. Close that back up. Let's close it all the way, actually. See, a creeper just tried to get in. However, since it is selectively permeable, it could not get in, which is amazing. So, the first thing you see when you come in is this big gold, orange, brown thing. What this big gold, orange, brown thing is I'll go with the gold thing first, because that is probably the most important thing in this entire cell. In any cell, actually. This is the nucleus. Okay. It holds all of the cells. It's like the brain. Okay, so it's like our head. So picture the cell as a head, and in the middle of it is the brain. That's how a cell is. Okay, except it's a nucleus and not a brain. This holds the information, and that's the turquoise thing in the middle is just showing DNA. What this does is it allows the cells to carry. It basically teaches you how it teaches your cells how your cells organelles to carry out specific functions. So yeah, that's what the nucleus does. This big orange thing is the endoplasmic reticulum. This surrounds the nucleus, and it actually makes proteins, and there are actually two of them: the rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is found both in plant and animal cells, so that's why I put it in. And it is studded with ribosomes, which are symbolized by these. And also there are almost always ribosomes throughout the cell, so I put them everywhere in the cell, on the walls. So what this does is it looks like it looks basically like this. It surrounds the nucleus, and yeah, it is studded with ribosomes, and ribosomes are the place where proteins are assembled with other materials that are exported from the cells, which means so it is basically, it takes substances and proteins, say water and a protein, and it puts them together, and it uses the Golgi apparatus, which is found in eukaryotic cells, which means cells that do have a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells do not have a nucleus. Okay, so the Golgi apparatus is found in all eukaryotic cells, and it looks like kind of like the endoplasmic reticulum, except it's kind of a bit wavy, and like the endoplasmic reticulum, it modifies, sorts, and packages proteins. Okay, and I forgot to tell you that the endoplasmic reticulum moves. Oh yeah, never mind. I did tell you. It moves proteins and other substances out of the cell and around the cell. The Golgi apparatus actually puts the substances in a vacuole, which is right there. Okay, and it is holding water, which vacuoles do. They hold waste and water and food particles and stuff like that. So the Golgi apparatus's job is to modify the proteins to the specific jobs it is being sent to, and then it packages it so the vacuole would be like a box, say, and the water is like let's say a toy. So since it's close to Christmas, I'll say that this is a Christmas present, and like in the glass is the wrapping paper and the water in it, so that is the toy for the kid. And yeah, so that's what the Golgi apparatus does. Next is the mitochondria. This is what actually powers the cell. So this would be like the kind of like the digestive system and the heart at the same time. So so the heart and the brain are both very important. Okay, this also is like the digestive system, because it gives you, basically it takes in food, and it breaks it down like your stomach, and it makes it into energy, which in our case would be like sucking out the nutrients of the food and putting it into different cells like this. The mitochondria takes that nutrients and turns it into energy, or ATP. And in class we haven't really gone into depth with that, so ATP is just energy, basically. So that's what the mitochondria does. And then so this is like the stomach. No, just kidding. That is not like the stomach. This is like the stomach. This is the lysosome. And what this does is it breaks down large food particles so it can be sent to this. So actually the mitochondria is like the stomach or the powerhouse, and this is like the mouth. So it takes large quantities of food and makes them smaller, so it is easier to digest in that. The mitochondria. Okay. So now we have the Christmas gift, the brain, the heart and stomach, the mouth, the mail station, and the delivery guy. Okay. And the factories, or the factory workers, and the walls. And the torches are just a light so you can actually see. Okay, so otherwise, so this is a version of a very healthy cell. All the everything's working properly, and yeah. So all animal cells, all animal organisms are heterotrophic, which means they have to consume other organisms to get their energy. That goes to the lysosome and the mitochondria. And plant cells, which I did not make, I made an animal cell, as I said before, are autotrophic, which means they can make their own food. Basically, so they trap the sunlight and make their own food.